So my mom wanted me to cut it in half, and I was going to use it to make a mug holder for her. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. I'm going to cut it in half lengthwise. Once the piece was cut, I then sanded everything down again, avoiding the bark. Next, it was time to seal it and preserve the bark. I decided to use epoxy resin for this. I'm really just keeping the bark intact and preserving it and doing a coat on top of this piece of wood. I did find that there were some spots that were uneven with my first pour, so I definitely decided it was time for a second pour. This board I let cure outside for 10 days. It was time to add the hooks for hanging on here. My mom is very much into Polish pottery, and she wanted to have Polish pottery hooks on here. We decided that 10 was going to work out the best for the length. To figure out where each knob was going to go and to make sure it was exactly straight, I marked 6 inches for where every knob was going to go, and then in every single one of those spots, I then measured the halfway point on the board so that this was going to be a perfectly straight line of knobs, even though there is a wave on the top of this board. I then drilled a pilot hole for each screw, and then drilled all the screws in, and then tightened each knob onto its screw. When it was done and I took it into my mom's kitchen where I was going to hang it, I realized I didn't cut this board down to the right length. So it is way too big for this 42-inch space that it's supposed to go in. So now I have this gorgeous piece that doesn't fit anywhere in my mom's house, or my house for that matter. I'm actually thinking about selling it, but I'm also going to make a much smaller piece for my mom that will fit in her kitchen. The whole process is detailed on my blog, and I've linked everything there, as well as my LTK and Amazon storefront.